Let me tell you a tale of arrogance, armor, and utter annihilation. Imagine this: a proud and pious military order, dressed in white cloaks with black crosses, convinced they were the chosen sword of Christ himself. Yes, the Teutonic Knights. Walking around like they owned the Baltics, collecting taxes, crushing pagans, and building castles like insecure Lego enthusiasts. But then came 1410. And oh, dear listener, how the mighty fell. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I am King Arthur. Yes, that Arthur. And though I hail from myth and mist, I do enjoy a bit of medieval gossip. So pour yourself a goblet of mead or whatever peasants drink these days, and listen well. Now, the Teutonic Knights had been riding high for over a century. Crusaders without a desert, they carved out a state along the Baltic Sea, claiming they were civilizing the locals. Spoiler, they were not. By 1410, they'd managed to make enemies of literally everyone within stabbing distance. Most importantly, the Kingdom of Poland and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. Never a wise move, picking fights with two nations that just happened to form a personal union under the same crown. Oops. So, Grand Master Ulrich von Jungingen, who sounds like he should be selling overpriced armor polish, decides he's going to march his knights into Poland and show those barbarian Lithuanians who's boss. He gathers an army of well-trained knights, hardened mercenaries, and enough arrogance to sink a warhorse. Meanwhile, the Polish-Lithuanian alliance assembles their own merry band of warriors. King Władysław Jagiełło of Poland and Grand Duke Vytautas of Lithuania knew this was no ordinary spat. It was going to be a bloodbath. And thus, on the 15th of July, in the fields near a place called Grunwald, or Tannenberg if you're feeling Germanic, two colossal forces met. Thunder cracked. Banners snapped in the wind. Birds wisely fled the scene. Now here's where it gets juicy. The Teutonic Knights, expecting an easy win, thought they could just roll in and cleave through a bunch of Slavs and pagans. Instead, they got a masterclass in tactics, stamina, and poetic justice. The Lithuanians feigned a retreat, classic move, and drew a chunk of the knights into a disorganized chase. When they finally turned around to fight back, surprise, reinforcements. Meanwhile, the Polish heavy cavalry hit the Teutonic center like a divine hammer. Ulrich himself, the Grand Master, galloped into the fray wearing full regalia, bless him for the drama, but alas, he was promptly killed. A knight, cut down like a novice squire. By the end of the day, the battlefield was strewn with broken lances, trampled standards, and a whole lot of dead Germans. It was one of the biggest and bloodiest battles of the entire Middle Ages. And just like that, the myth of Teutonic invincibility crumbled. Their state began to decline, their influence waned, and within a few generations, they were little more than a footnote in someone else's history book. Now, why does this matter today? Because it's a cautionary tale wrapped in steel and pride. A reminder that no matter how shiny your armor or righteous your cause, hubris will always find a way to bite you in the chainmail. Oh, and before you gallop off into your own battles, whether they be academic, algorithmic, or emotional, perhaps consider supporting this noble court of storytelling. Click that like button if your sword hand is still steady. Subscribe if you crave more tales of betrayal, bloodshed, and baffling decisions. And comment below. Who do you think had the better banner, Poland or the Teutonic Order? Choose wisely. Your king is watching. And remember, my dear listener, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does enjoy a good encore. Until next time, stay sharp and don't trust men in white cloaks with too much money and too many swords.